What I was trying to say is this. We can speak to one another around a negotiating table. We each have our points of view, we each have ideas, we each have opinions. We could try to get to peace in that way by talking to one another. But nowadays we're speaking at one another. So everybody's so invested in their points of view that it's very hard to make progress. Another alternative might be to actually build something that speaks louder than words and that points to the possibility of peace. That in and of itself creates its own reality, a self-evident reality that says, look, people can get along, they can work together to solve common problems. That by itself will take you where you want to be and will open the door for future negotiations. We actually have to condition people for the possibility of peace. And to do that, you need substantive projects on the ground that speak louder than words. Projects like green industrial zones, where everybody is working together and humanizing each other in each other's eyes. The initial idea came when we were in a restaurant in Lake Como. They had paper mats, and all of a sudden, it never happened to me before, there was almost like a vision that grabs hold of you. It's not that you have the vision, it's that the vision has you. So I just wrote quickly what I call an ideology of common sense, a shared belief based on universal truths and values, a new framework for rational discourse. And it looks to common roots, common values, common aspirations. Then you have what I wrote economic incentives or investments. So you could have public and private investment. One way of thinking of it is a Marshall Plan for the Middle East. But it would involve investing in a new model that inspires in people hope and delivers on that promise with jobs. Remember, like we said before, the world is coming together economically. The world is coming together technologically. The world is coming together environmentally. Because of that, it's time to come together ideologically. The ideology we believe in is an ideology of common sense. It's a new framework for rational discourse based on common sense principles by which we speak to one another with common sense and with a sense of personal dignity. It's how we speak to one another. Now, a lot of this project in Gaza seems like it doesn't make sense, but that's the point. We want to create the most counterintuitive project imaginable to give life to what we intuitively know to be true. That at our core, we are all basically the same, and we share the same aspirations. And we think it's time, before time runs out, to give some semblance of reality to those shared aspirations. I would say don't let love stop at the doorpost. I mean, expand your notion of love. And if you have love, you have to show it. I mean, does love exist if you don't bother to show it? So if people around the world are hungry, you would show your love either by feeding them or teaching them how to feed themselves. If you have a love for your backyard, then expand that to a love of the world and make it more sustainable. Take your notions of love, take the way you organize your family and the harmony you try to create in your family, and try to expand your horizons to apply those values and that sense of love to the world as a whole. And then that may require us to reset certain aspects of how we live, to reset how our economic system works so that everybody gets a place at the table, a stake in his future, to reset how we think about environmental policy so that, yes, we make money, but not by polluting the world. We make money by perhaps sustaining the world. We're getting close to the impossible, but we're still within the realm of possibility. Impossible in the sense that people say, well, how are you going to turn the Middle East around? There might be a lot of competing ideologies. There might be a lot of people who are not interested in seeing the Middle East move in this direction. Fine. Taking all that into consideration, we still believe that given the problems we face now, the solutions to those problems could be packaged in the right way within the realm of possibility to effectuate positive change. And the way you do that is that you design the model to address each and every one of those problems individually. So if women are being marginalized, you empower female entrepreneurs. If you have a young generation that's alienated, you teach them vocational skills they need to perform green jobs. If the environment is being degraded, you have companies that are producing products to sustain and protect the environment. If there's a culture of intolerance, you have a community of artists that can inculcate and sustain a culture of tolerance. So in other words, whatever you see as a problem can be addressed in this model and can give people confidence that yes, it's possible, and in a way, it may be the only way to go.